The stadium is silent. Tens of thousands watch as a young woman crouches at the starting blocks, her hands trembling. Not from fear, but from anticipation. The gun fires. She launches forward, legs slicing through the air like steel cables charged with lightning. The finish line comes closer, closer, until her chest breaks the tape. The crowd erupts. She falls to her knees, tears streaming down her face. That woman is Emily Carter, and this moment is the culmination of a journey that began with 3 devastating words from her doctor. She'll never walk. Emily was born in a modest hospital in Cedar Falls, a quiet town surrounded by cornfields and big skies. Her mother, Sarah, was 22, a waitress juggling bills and a brand new life. Her father, Mark, worked construction and dreamed of coaching his kid in soccer one day. But their dreams fractured in the delivery room. A nurse noticed something unusual about the baby's legs. They were twisted inward, stiff, and her feet were locked in an unnatural position. After a flurry of tests, the doctor delivered the verdict. Emily has congenital bilateral clubfoot combined with underdeveloped calf muscles. Even with corrective surgery, her ability to walk will be extremely limited. Running? Highly unlikely. Sarah cried silently that night. Mark didn't speak much, just stared out the hospital window, feeling the future they imagined slipping away. Childhood was cruel to Emily. She wore bulky plaster casts for months, then transitioned to metal leg braces that clinked when she walked. She couldn't keep up with the other kids, and when she tried, she fell. A lot. In the schoolyard, children whispered. Some imitated her walk. Others avoided her like she carried a strange disease. Once a boy shouted, "Hey, robot legs!" and the whole class laughed. Emily pretended not to care, but she went home and cried into her pillow until her face hurt. Her only safe space was her mother's arms. Sarah, a woman with a backbone of steel, never allowed Emily to wallow. They don't decide who you are, Em. You do. Every single day. Doctors recommended physical therapy. Endless sessions of stretching, bending, and trying to strengthen what nature had left fragile. It hurt. Sometimes she would scream in frustration. Once, she threw her crutches across the room, yelling, "I can't do it! I'm broken!" Her therapist, Mrs. Lang, crouched down beside her and said something Emily never forgot. "Broken? No. You're in the middle of being built. You just don't know what you're becoming yet." The words lit a small flame inside her. She didn't know it yet, but that flame would one day become a firestorm. At age 9, Emily's life took a sharp turn. One Saturday afternoon, Sarah sat her down in front of the TV and turned on a replay of the Paralympic Games. Emily's eyes widened as she saw athletes with prosthetic limbs sprinting faster than most able-bodied runners. Wheelchair racers tore down the track like rockets. Medalists stood crying as their national anthems played. Emily whispered, "They're like me." "No," Sarah said with a proud smile. "They're like you're going to be." That night, Emily told her mom she wanted to be a racer. Sarah didn't flinch. She just nodded and said, "Then we start tomorrow." Training was brutal. At first, she couldn't run more than 10 steps without collapsing. Her braces felt heavy, her legs burned, and the stares from strangers stung like open wounds. But Sarah was there every morning at 5:30 a.m., holding a stopwatch. "Again," she'd say, no matter how much Emily groaned. Emily's therapist adjusted her routines, slowly shifting from basic mobility to strength drills. At school, she still faced bullies. Some kids joked she was training to walk normally, instead of training to win races. But Emily had learned to let their words slide off like rain. By 12, she could run 100 meters without stopping. By 14, she was competing in local parathletic meets and losing most of them. But each loss made her faster. Her first big break came at the state Parathletics Championships. The air was thick with tension as Emily rolled her shoulders at the starting line. Her main competitor, a girl 2 years older, smirked. When the gun fired, Emily didn't think about her condition, her braces, or the years of pain. She thought about the kid in the playground who called her robot legs, the doctor who said she'd never walk, and her mother timing her in the rain. She crossed the finish line and realized no one was in front of her. She had won. Not just won. She had broken the state record for her category. The stadium announcer's voice boomed her name, and for the first time, Emily believed she was more than her diagnosis. With sponsorship offers trickling in, Emily upgraded her equipment, customized racing blades that felt like wings compared to her old braces. She trained under a former Paralympic coach who pushed her harder than anyone before. Her life was no longer about surviving. It was about winning. Within 2 years, she was on the national team. She traveled to Europe, Asia, and South America, representing her country in events she once only watched on TV. The 200-meter finals at the World Championships was her moment. Her competitors were the best in the world, athletes who'd been training since before Emily could walk. She knelt at the blocks, heart pounding. The stadium fell silent. The gun cracked through the air. Every muscle screamed, but Emily pushed harder. She flew down the track, not just running a race but outrunning every limit placed on her since birth. She crossed the finish line first, by a fraction of a second. Gold medal, world champion. When reporters crowded around, asking how it felt to prove her doctors wrong, Emily shook her head. This isn't about proving anyone wrong. It's about proving myself right. Today, Emily runs a nonprofit that funds adaptive sports programs for children with disabilities. She visits hospitals to tell kids in casts and braces, "You're not broken. You're becoming." The girl who was once told she'd never walk now runs faster than most people will ever dream. And she carries a message the world will never forget. Limits are just the starting line.